Hi everybody, so today we've done our warm game simulation day, which has been really good. We've had an absolutely fantastic day. So we started the day doing some simulation with the dummy launchers, 6 handlers. We then went off and did 2 duck drives. All the dogs did absolutely fantastic. Our ducks flew amazing. It's been a really good day. There's been some great shooting, some great dog work, some great experiences, and hopefully a lot of memories made, and some people have finally had the opportunity to cut the teeth, and the dogs have retrieved warm game for the very first time today. So that's a massive milestone for the novice dog handlers. Other things that we've been doing is we've got some different food to put out for our birds. We've been feeding them really heavy. Our ducks are now nice and fit. Our pheasants are now nice and feathered. We've just got to keep feeding, keep watering, keep going. And our first proper shoot day is on the 3rd of October, which isn't far away at all.
The whistle signals the start of the drive. For this simulation, we've got 3 beaters, all with flags, just for added distraction. We're using 2 dummy launchers simultaneously to replicate a number of guns shooting. The handlers are all located about 80 yards behind the gun. Each launcher will let 6 retrieves off, and then a whistle will sound to signal the end of the drive, and then the handlers can send the dogs to pick up the dummies that are laid in various spots across the field. Here you can see the ducks getting off the pond. They will go around once, get the wind and get some height, and then people will start shooting at them. So in this exercise we have 3 guns dotted around the pond, kind of top, middle and bottom, and the handlers are allocated 2 handlers per gun. Again, they're situated about 60 to 80 yards behind the gun, just like you would be in a real picking up situation. Fairly windy day, so there's some challenging shots, but we've got 12 ducks off this drive, so each handler had 2 really good retrieves once the drive had finished. Again, the whistle will signal the end of the drive, and if you look closely at the pond you can see that we have some people flagging to make sure that the ducks stay in the air.
The weather's turned a little bit now. It's a bit wet, a bit windy, which really pulls the birds tight into the feeders. So we're just going around making sure that everything's got plenty of food and plenty of water. So I was just going to show you that we're at the end of one of our game covers. We call this drive Grandad's, and you can see that the game cover has got away really well. So some of the game cover in there is 5 or 6 foot. Mark's just off spinning that. So the idea is that we are going to drive the birds back down the cover towards me, and we're going to push them straight over the top, down over that land down there. So we'll stand the guns somewhere roughly where the sheep are. It was like we ordered that one. So that's the way that we're going to push the birds, and they're going to fly down there over that way. So I'll take you around that side and show you it from a gun's perspective. We're just stood where the gun line is going to stand for Grandad's, and we're going to start the guns numbering from down here. So we're stood probably in peg number 4 or 5 now, and just there, up where them trees are, just there is where we were stood a minute ago, in the big tall kale where Mark was spinning. So you can see from this side, very different perspective, and with some excellent birds, I would think, that will be probably the same height as the tops of those trees, coming back across here and over into our next drive. This is Mark, the better half of Sporting Situations.
Hiya, just been around spinning the feed rides, and it's a bit of a misty, murky morning this morning, so quite a lot of pheasants showing themselves. We've just been putting a mix of maize and wheat out for them, just to give the birds a bit more variety. And it also lasts, if you get a bit of moisture, a bit of rain on your feed rides for the next day or so, a couple of days. It doesn't deteriorate in quality, so gives them something to scratch and peck at.
So we're just out spinning in the rigs, just been around the rigs, and if you look just across there, the other side of that hill, that's Grandad's drive, so that's where we were stood earlier, and I pointed out where the guns were going to stand. So you can see that the two covers are in a direct flight line from one another, so when we push them out of Grandad's, the ones that get over the gun line should hopefully come and land in here, and then we will push this from that far side all the way down to there, and the gun line is right down there. We'll be stood starting from up there, working around in a horseshoe, and then a couple of guns at the other side of that oak tree. So the game cover's right up there. So we're probably stood in peg number 4 now, and again we should get some really good birds come out there. It's deceiving how high that actually is. So the flush point is probably just 20-30 yards to the side of the fence, and there's a pheasant just got up there, and we should get some really good birds coming and flying back down this way and keep them in the drive, because they spend a lot of time in this rough area and by that stone wall. So we'll carry on spinning and we'll show you around the feed ride. And that's it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel or follow us on Facebook. Next week we'll be putting pegs out and get ready for our first day shooting.